Hi everybody.
Hi, how is everyone?
I wish to introduce Rachel Coyne, the Chief Officer for Marketing for the Galway Clinic, who her support have allowed us to do this webinar, Relive Your Life. Rachel?
Thank you very much, Professor Sultan. It's my pleasure to introduce you all to Professor Sharif Sultan. And thank you very much for your time, for taking your time out to do this webinar this evening. It's going to be a fantastic event, so you're all very welcome and hope you all enjoy.
Thanks so much, Rachel. And without further delay, I'd like to start the talk today, Relive Your Life. We have went through a very challenging time over the past 18 months. And it's time now to have a little bit of a uplift of what we're doing in our life. Your life is loading every day with challenges and opportunities that you face, and it faces you with a lot of choices that you have to do. What's life? They say it's from B to D, from birth to death, but what's between B and D? It's our choices. Our life is a matter of choices. Live well and it will never go wrong. Life is the art of growing without an eraser. Everything that you do will be printed in your life. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect for yourself, for your loved one. It's very, very important. Enjoy your own life without comparing it with that of another. Ever, never, ever compare yourself to anybody. You're better than that. And always remember that people who want to stay in your life will always find a very strong way to stay around you, whatever happens. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. And remember, it's always about you. Expect nothing and you will never be disappointed ever in your life. I have found that if you love life, life will love you back dearly and give you what you want from it. Don't call the world dirty because you forget to clean your glasses. The world is full of good people. Some people come in your life as blessing, others come in your life as lessons, hard to forget. A simple hello with a big smile could lead to a million good things in your life. Remember, that smile will open doors for you. And as long as you live, keep learning how to live happily and smiling. The human race is divided into two classes: those who go ahead and do something, or those who sit still and inquire, why wasn't it done the other way?
When the thing that you didn't ask for happens in your life, in the shifting seasons,
you can find yourself stressed out. You can find yourself depressed, mentally fragile because of the experiences, the turbulence that you have gone through.
Setbacks will happen, and when they do, it's okay to get depressed, it's okay to cry, it's okay to go home, but eventually you have to get over it and move on. The greatest people who've ever walked this planet constantly had setbacks in life and failures. Constantly.
And most people stop at failure. We've all failed at things. It's the most powerful tool you can use. But it all depends on how you use it.
There is a blessing in everything.
Remember, there is a blessing in everything that happened to you. It teaches you and allows you to move forward. Understand your purpose and it will fuel your drive. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for you because you become what you believe in. Pushing yourself physically will motivate you to push yourself intellectually and in other parts of your life, your career, love, family, and friends. Surround yourself with people who push you, who challenge you, who make you laugh, who make you better, who make you happy. There is no fun in a perfect life, so make a risk, take a chance, go where the wind will take you, have fun. Do you notice that when you have fun, you are more charismatic, upbeat, and optimistic? Do you notice that you are more productive because you're actually enjoying the work that you do? Do you notice that you are motivating other team members because you are making the work environment awesome and funny? Visualize the future and go make it happen, because it's never too late to be awesome.
No guts, no glory. Most people, when they hear no, they're rejected. It takes their power away. And they become discouraged. They lose their spirit. They lose their energy. They stop. No. When you're facing those rejections day in and day out, don't say, I had a bad day today. Say, I had a character building day. What did you learn? What did you get out of that day? When you get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down, when you run into some roadblocks, and you're going to run into them, when you have some setbacks, you can always be able to bring yourself back in, knowing if someone has done it, it's possible that I can do it. You've got to be willing to face rejection and no again and again and again, defeat again and again and again, and every time life knocks you down, you jump up and say, it's not over until I win.
It's very important that this character building day will allow you to go forward more and more. How to go up the job ladder or organization food chain. Its unstructured nature of the process is challenging. Lack of information about what you should spend your time on or how is endemic in every organization. You don't know what you're doing or how to go forward. Do find a breakthrough, but expect 2 or more years until completion, with very few landmarks or milestones in sight. Deliberate practice volume has been used extensively for pilots, engineers, surgeons, you name it. And the whole idea is an activity that explicitly intended to improve performance, reaches for objective just beyond one's level of competence, provides feedback on results, and involve high level of repetition. 10 years rule, it's the minimum, not the average. You need 20 years before hitting your zenith. You need 10,000 hours of very hard work.
To get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
Survival of the fittest is very important to understand. You are not ever in it alone. What it takes to be good at your job and work. Lack of natural talent is irrelevant to great success. Talent doesn't mean intelligence or personality traits. Painful and demanding practice and hard work is always what makes you successful in your life. Targeted natural gifts do not exist. Do not try to convince yourself they have been born ready. It's not. It takes a lot of work hard to reach that stage. You require daily grins. It's more than merely coming up with brilliant ideas and implementing them. Reading papers, discussing ideas with colleagues, writing and receiving projects, attending international conferences. Do not stare blankly into space thinking that you're going to have a solution, but commit, and you must go the extra mile to do your job.
Use your pain.
And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight And most of you won't be successful not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you to get to your new.
You will not live until you get the new you, and you have to do it because it's the only way to be successful. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they cannot lose. Life is not fair, always. Get used to it. If you cannot make it good, at least make it look good.
Courage today that no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your marriage is, no matter how many times you fail, there is within you a spirit that is greater than whatever is going on around you.
If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through it. If you are willing to fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football, I'm telling you at the end of the fight is going to come victory.
You must fight your way to victory. Nobody going to give you anything on a golden spoon. Maintaining a successful career requires on keeping track of where you're going, where you have been, and staying motivated. How to spend your time wisely with sound speculation, interesting problem, possible solution, random ideas, reference to look up with contemporary interesting quotes. Knowledge and experience will allow you to have the success, but people look at the iceberg illusion and say, oh, he was lucky to be successful. Trust me, it takes a lot of struggle, a lot of doubts, a lot of persistence, a lot of failures, a lot of good habits, disappointment, you take action, you sacrifices, late nights, sleepless night, discipline, risk, and what people don't see is your courage to succeed.
Patience and engage in consistent action.
Look at your belief system every single day and stick with it. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Everybody dreams of greatness. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody dreams of greatness, wishes to be great, talks about great, idolize the greats. Everybody wants to be great, but only a few when that moment presents itself. Only a few when that time has come. Only a few are willing to step up to the moment.
Do not rush the process, trust the process, train yourself, focus strategically, and you will achieve. A successful employee understands motivation for problem posed, offer choices made in finding a solution. Do not say it's not my job. Give a hand. Assumption behind any solution, whether realistic or not, with future direction for research is very important. Think outside the box. What was actually accomplished or implemented doesn't matter as long as you thinking laterally. Validity of the theoretical justification is very important in finding a good solution for a problem. If you are born poor, it is not your mistake. However, if you die poor, it is your mistake. Nobody going to tell you what happened. You have enemies, that's very good. That means that you're putting your head above the water. That means that you have stood up for something sometimes in your life. I have a lot of friends and few good enemies, but I will never have enemies except if I am successful.
Above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Standing up and fighting on, you will be unbroken. How to stay motivated? Middle years can be very hard to maintain a positive attitude and stay motivated. Suffer from insecurity, anxiety, and even boredom. That's all our normal feeling. It is essential that you learn to cope with criticism and even that you actively seek it out. Learn to listen to valid constructive criticism and do ignore destructive pointless criticism. is the only way to go forward. Like these guys, they're waiting for a wave to take them over to the shore. If you do not get this wave, or the mentor, or the chance, or the good choices, you will stand still. And everybody is looking for a wave to take them over. So always look for that mentor. Finding an ideal mentor is crucial. Actively seek a high flyer, respective of highest quality. Talk to other graduates and successful employees. Learn to read between the lines of grandiose claims. Do not compare yourself to senior employees who have years of hard work and achievements. Do not overestimate what other people have done. Excellence is not competitive, and these guys are still waiting for this wave until one guy, after being trained himself very well, was able to get this wave to the shore and ride it, and he got his chance. Divide and conquer strategy at work. Focus on a goal of writing a project or section of it. Instead of implementing a large system and overwhelmed with whatever you have, break off it into pieces and implement one module at a time. Identify tasks that you can do in an hour or less. Then you can come up with a realistic daily schedule and take it one day at a time. Every task you complete gets you closer to the finishing line. Remember, if you have tried but failed to get motivated, then it might be helpful to talk it through with someone you trust. A dad, an uncle, a nephew, a cousin, somebody that means something for you and you can trust him with your future. Sometimes it can be hard to achieve things on your own, so having a good support network may help when you're taking on a big challenges. You cannot create experience, you must undergo it.
Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up to say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
You can't fall if you don't climb, but there is no joy in living your whole life on the ground. How to get your project approved in order to get your good promotion. If your project is rejected, keep trying. Take the reviewers to heart and addressing the reviewers' comments. You will often find that reviewers make criticisms that are off target because they misinterpret some aspect of your project. If so, do not let it go to you. Just rewrite that part of your project more clearly so that the same misunderstanding won't happen again. It's frustrating to have a project rejected because of a misunderstanding, but at least it's something you can fix. On the other hand, positive professional criticism of your project may require more substantial revisions, rethinking your ideas, running more tests, or redoing an analysis. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
Your boundaries. Why? Simply because there will be no other time for you to do this. You can dream of these things, but understand you can also achieve them. The moments that take your breath away are the ones that count. I don't care if you've been beaten to the floor, if your legs are too tired to lift that weight, break through that barrier and create new ones for you. When there's a will, there's a way. When you truly need something, you can find a way, and you stop at nothing to reach it.
The inches we need are everywhere.
ago. It's not easy changing your life. It's not easy trying to build a business and people are negative and saying no every day. It takes a lot of guts.
When there's a will, there's a way. Everybody talking about the climate change and the bioconvergence and the business landscape. It's powerful, surprising potential with a given driving forces to the future. It's mimic the intelligence of our biological and natural systems. New insights into information design is enabling a platform for discovery, innovation, and convergence. Future disruptive technology is emerging. Speed and rate of change implicit in bioconvergence is non-linear. What were once dubbed impossible technologies are becoming feasible not in 5 or 10 years, but in 3 to 6 months.
Members of the faculty, parents, and especially the graduates. I've been waiting more than 30 years to say this. Dad, I always told you I'd come back and get my degree. I want to thank Harvard for this honor. I'll be changing my job next year, and it will be nice to finally have a college degree on my resume.
Difference between success and failure is persistence. This is the richest guy on earth. He doesn't have a university degree. He got an honorary PhD from Harvard. Remember that. 80% of the new recruits by Ernst Young don't have a university degree because they need guys with coupon. Motivation is central to creativity, productivity, and happiness. Motivation is what causes us to act, and when we act, we create growth and change. We feel involved, masterful, and significant. We feel powerful through experiencing how we can change the world. We create more of what we love in our lives, and this gives us our life purpose and happiness.
You gotta talk about living your dream, and people laughing at you, and they're doubting you. But let me tell you, I believe in revenge like Frank Sinatra. He said the best revenge is massive success. It takes guts. You gotta dig down deep to gut it out. Keep on going again and again and again. It's hard. No, easy is not an option. However, ladies and gentlemen, what you will discover is that it's worth it.
Best revenge is a massive success. Remember that. The more successful you are, the more people will respect you. Now, let's go to relationship. And always you hear this, my relationship is stressing me out. You must strengthen your partnership against life's inevitable stressors as it take a toll on the strongest of bonds. So the potential for distance, disagreements, and disconnection between you and your partner is easily solved and conquered. Always one partner is consistently the anchor, but eventually their tank is running on fumes. This is your opportunity to shine and give your love to your partner.
It's time for you to take advantage of the access and the resources that you have in your country and your community. You got a problem with your life, you got a problem with your environment, do something about it. If you want it, go get it.
Recognize the excuses are not valid.
Recognize that any excuses are not valid for anything. And remember, you are trying to put this to just get yourself out of a problem. Stress spills into relationships and brings out our worst traits. We are always depleted of cognitive resources, which make us hyper-vigilant and over-sensitive to criticism. Since we are more irritable, we are more likely to fight over issues we do normally ignore or drop. If relationship stress was already a problem, it will increase tenfold when external unavoidable stressors like collapse of the market, loss of job, are added to the equation of stressed relationships.
Always leaves a gift. Always.
The depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success.
You're supposed to react. You're supposed to respond. You're supposed to be down for a quick minute, but you get back up. You don't stop.
You keep standing.
No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up.
It takes a lot of guts to pick yourself up when you experience setbacks and people don't see the vision. And you might lose your job. It takes a lot of guts. You don't have nothing but lint in the corner of your pocket. You're out here talking about living your dream. And people laughing at you. And they're doubting you. People are going to think you're crazy. And sometimes you're going to think you're crazy.
It takes a lot of guts to succeed, without any doubt. Save your relationship from stress. Always offer a steady supply of support regardless of the situation. This will create a new level of intimacy that brings you both closer. You must generate mental and emotional resources that will not only create comfort and connection, but a healthy, secure base that both partners shall consistently count on as "you are my rock." Discover your own goals in life. Think about what you want from your relationship this year, whether passion, excitement, security, or trust. Do you want a weekly date night, which is very important? More transparency with who you are texting is very important. 50% of destroyed relationship because somebody had texting without telling the other half. Decide what matters to you as a couple, then discover how to achieve and prioritize that. Add more time and effort to your relationship. Relationship conflict and stress have been shown to have a clear impact on health, affecting blood pressure, contributing to heart disease and mental health. Healthy and supported relationships are worth the time and energy you put into them. Give them the time, effort, and attention that you deserve. Love do happen once in a lifetime. It rarely repeats itself.
What's stopping you? Are you too tired? Didn't get enough sleep? Don't have enough energy? Don't have enough time? Is that what's stopping you right now? Don't have enough money? Is that the thing? Or is the thing that's stopping you, you?
What's stopping you going forward is always yourself. You are competing against yourself. Never ever allow this to happen. You deserve to be happy. Exercise releases endorphin, which improve mood. A short walk each day or simply sitting in the park bring benefit from fresh air, a sense of achievement, and a break from routines which is aggravating any depression. Engaging with nature can make an impact with big difference. A healthy balanced diet produces a healthy body and a healthy mind. Sugary foods lead to a sharp drop in blood sugar later on and leads to energy and mood slumps. Caffeine has a negative impact, causing increased heart rate and interfering with good night's sleep in almost 75% of people. The other 25 take the coffee and they sleep like a baby. Avoid alcohol, as it is a major depressant and prove a potent trigger to low mood, especially individuals prone to depression. It interacts dangerously with a lot of medications.
Push past the fight. Push. Don't quit. Don't get push. Push your way to success.
Push your way to success. That's the only way forward. Never ever look back. Always look forward. Push, push, and go forward. You deserve to be happy. Start by doing a mood diary. Writing as therapy. Many people had realized that writing had a therapeutic benefit and useful as a diffusing tool. Writing a few sentences at the end of each day can help to relieve some concerns, and no one need ever read what you have written. Looking back over things you have written previously can show how far you have come along and achieved into your mental health. You remember that fantastic movie? This guy arrived in JFK and suddenly there was a big problem in his country. He has a language barrier. He could see his country, but he doesn't understand what's going on. And suddenly he's so desperate that nobody even cared about him. So lonely on a foreign land. And then he's starting to try to see what's going on. And remember, people will try to show being helpful, but in reality, they're stabbing you in the back. So this guy standing over there, this guy come very nicely. And then he decided to throw him up and close the door in his face without any emotion, without anything about anything. It happened every day. It happened with a lot of us. People start closing doors in your face. Whether you have a crisis or not, they don't care. But if somebody closes a door in front of you, you have to understand that human resilience. If you don't go the extra mile, forget it and open a flower shop.
Becky, open the door! Open the door! Yeah, I'm trying. Oh my God! The other door!
Human excellence, we must open any door for ourselves in order to go forward. Cultivate gratitude. If 2020 was the year things you couldn't do, consider 2021 the year to be thankful for the things you do have. A few times a week, exchange lists with your partner about what you both are grateful for. You'll be amazed at how quickly it will change your perspective. Turn on your damn phone off. While working from home, you may feel like you and your partner are in a polyamorous relationship with your phones. Set out specific phoneless days to enjoy each other's company unplugged. Put in the work like a houseplant. Relationship requires care. Checks in, sexy time and sexy time where you talk about bills and work schedule. Conflict mediation and showing up for each other. Decide to put in the work into your relationship.
Break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and all of those are going to leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat.
It is staying with the breaking that produces the blessing.
Mark of victory that you learn from your problems because it produces a lot of blessing into the future. Learn what makes you super turned on. Sometimes you eat because you're bored and sometimes you eat because you are starving. The same goes for making love. You know when you are neutrally into it versus so totally consumed and ready to go, you can't imagine not getting it on the ride this second. Learn what makes you and your partner feel super turned on and do more of that. Quit the peanut gallery. Your love long-term relationship is between you and your partner. It doesn't need approval or understanding from your mom, from your hairdresser, from your best friend, or your sister or your brother. Manage your expectations. It's very important in life. From who's paying for the dinner, expectations come in all shapes and sizes. Being transparent with your needs help you and your partner manage your expectations without feeling totally surprised or betrayed. Smaller daily gestures make caring a habit rather than an event. Conversation about love and sex is the best way to normalize and fix any potential hurt feelings. Spend quiet time together, snuggle up to read or just enjoy each other's company, and tune out all outside distraction and let go of the pressure to fill every silence. Now, all of you know that there's artificial intelligence. All knew about emotional intelligence. But what's emotional intelligence? It's the secret of lasting intimate love relationship. It makes us extremely aware of changes, large and small, that are constantly occurring in ourselves and others. It can be used to strengthen our partnership, increase intimacy, and stay connected. Couples must start building their own emotional intelligence so they will have the sensitivity that each of us is seeking in a significant other. Couple with good emotional intelligence automatically sense through active awareness and empathy the little shifts in the dynamics of the romance that signal a need for action.
We can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. Things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. 6 inches in front of your face. Now I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him.
Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe in, it can be achieved. Building emotional intelligence romantic relationships. Couples don't have to choose the wrong lovers, end up in a multiple failed marriages, or let their romance seep out of long-term relationships. Couples don't have to let conflicting needs and wants to come between two people who love each other dearly. Couples don't have to resign to boredom or bickering in their love lives. The impact of emotional intelligence is huge. Couples have the potential to attain the kind of love we all dream of: deep intimacy, mutual kindness, real commitment, soulful caring, simply because of empathy and our innate ability to share emotional experience. To reach height of romance, we need all the skills of a high emotional intelligence with sharp emotional awareness to avoid mistaking infatuation or lust for lasting love. Acceptance to experience emotion that could harm a relationship if left to fester, and a vigilant, active awareness to appraise us of what's working and what isn't. Remember, active listening shows your partner that you care about the things they tell you. Say "I feel," not "you are," when tensions start to rise. It's easy to name your partner's behavior you're selfish before expressing your own feeling, "I feel ignored." This allows you to express yourself without accusing your partner and give them space to discuss their intentions.
Most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is make it difficult for them, and they'll stop. See, when you go to get your goal, don't think that all you have to do is think positive and everything's going to work out okie-dokie for you. When you go to get your goal, you are sending a telegram to Murphy's Law to visit you personally.
You thought you was just gonna have a dream and a goal, and you were just gonna wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life pumps you. Life pumps you and say, do you really want this?
You have no idea how many telegrams that I got from Murphy's Law. And sending a telegram to Murphy's Law means that you are trying to go forward and things aren't going in the right direction. But it will happen for you if you persist. Best emotional intelligence experience when you are in your 80s. But please don't wait until your 80s to have this. Fortunately, your emotional intelligence doesn't need to have peaked before you embark on love. In fact, for many people, falling in love serves as motivation for re-educating the heart. That's why some of the most deeply passionate lovers are in their 80s. They discover that too high emotional intelligence add up to a romance that never stops growing, never loses excitement, and always strengthening them both, individually as well as collectively. Actively seek change in your relationship through emotional intelligence. Couple differences doesn't necessarily mean worse. Relationship by nature must change. Any relationship not nudged toward the kind of growth you want will drift into change of another kind, maybe one you don't want. Couples' ability to embrace change pays off in courage and optimism. Ask yourself, does your lover need something new from you? Do you need to schedule some time to re-evaluate together? Are external influences demanding a change in your respective roles? Are you as happy as you used to be? Without emotional intelligence, such questions are often just too scary to face. So many lovers ignore signals of change until it's too late and the boat had sailed.
Stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill. You have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything is uphill that's required. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh God, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
This is your chance. This is your shot. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your place. This is your opportunity.
This is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It's your dream.
Stop lies with the truth. It's very important to face that. Always say the truth, whatever going to take. Challenges you encounter are opportunities rather than problems. Your courage and optimism allow you to view dilemmas not as problems but as challenging opportunities. Building a high, strong emotional intelligence will liberate you from ruts and allow a resourceful problem solving to any unavoidable crisis. Many relationships have been renewed by blame, and millions of couples have missed out on deep intimacy because of shame. All are cruel reminders of unfelt anger, fear, and anxiety. If you have done the work of building emotional intelligence, couple will get on with their life together. Laughter in your love life. To avoid negative emotion, you need acceptance, and big part of your acceptance comes from laughter. Lovers who cannot laugh together about themselves properly aren't accepting of the relationships. They may not be able to tolerate its unique flaws and inevitable stumbles any more than they can put up with their own. Emotional intelligence and laughter is a science in its own. Couples who do not laugh often are less likely to be open to a relationship's most pleasant surprises, and you know exactly what I mean. Your high emotional intelligence, in contrast, means you can keep improving your relationship, but you'll never get trapped by the intolerant expectation of perfection. Always remember that love never benefits from tunnel vision.
And so by being committed to everything that I started, I finished it. It built a certain type of spirit. It built a certain type of mentality. It built a certain type of individual. And so now I couldn't quit even if I wanted to. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I had too much sweat equity in my life and everything that I was doing.
You're too close to quit. Now,
You gotta take another lap. You gotta take another lap. Because you never know. This might be the one. You can't stop because you're tired. You can't stop because you got your feelings hurt. You gotta take another lap. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. You're gonna make it. You're gonna do it. You got an unstoppable fire. Come on, take another lap. Don't you stop. Don't stop walking.
Never in your life stop walking. It's the only way to go forward. And as we usually say, the southern journey starts with few steps. Dear failure, what if I told you the unbearable sacrifices that I have done to compete and the losses that I made to accomplish my tasks are victory? What if I didn't measure my success by wins and losses, but by will, my triumph over laziness, my focus to prepare, my courage to contend, and my persistence to succeed? What if I told you I win every morning when I wake up, open my eyes, happy, content, and adaptable? Failure, you will not ever triumph over me because I am possible. Relive your life by constructing an optimistic environment, rejoicing any wins, going as far as your mind will let you. It will be impossible to beat you as you never give up. Work very hard, be kind with a big smile, and amazing things will happen, and allow you surround yourself with striving, positive people. And I hope over the past 50 minutes I told you exactly how things have changed in life, and I motivated for you to go out and succeed in your life. Thanks so much for the opportunity for the Golden Clinic that allows us to talk today, and I'll be delighted to take any question from anybody. I think that you'll be able to use the chat room for anybody who wants to write a question, or you could raise your hand and we could answer all these questions for you. I deserve a few questions from the lovely gentlemen and ladies that were attending. Any question will do. Whatever you want to ask, I'll be delighted to answer. And all of you know me well, so you don't need to be shy about asking questions. It's your life anyway that I'm trying to reignite it and give it a good purpose in front of you. Life is forgiving. Take it and go forward. Okay, Carol? You're unmuted. You could talk now. Yeah, far ahead.
Hi there. Thanks so much for your time this evening. I know you're a very busy man. I'm just wondering, is there any sort of advice you could give nurses and healthcare professionals for balancing like a very busy working life?
That's an excellent question. You went through a lot over the past 18 months. You have sacrificed your time. You didn't take any holidays. You had a lot to do. You have to take over more on calls because your colleagues are sick. So you've been hit so badly. And we thank you for all what you have done for our patients. The whole idea in here that currently now, if you are burned with a lot of work, you will be very, very subjected to more infection, and you need to take time off and take your entitled holidays and start balancing your life. You need to start for long walks, fresh air, go to a sunny place. You need the sun. It's very, very important. As you're well aware, we haven't gone any place until last August, so it's starting to come now to us. So I think you start with a good holiday, and then you need to rebalance and recalculate everything. You have done a great job for all the patients that you have saved, and we cannot thank you enough for what you have done for the patients. But you have to look after yourself, and you need to start changing your life. There's a lot of people doing a lifestyle consultancy. You could contact them online, and they'll be able to give you a program that could be constructed for your better well-being.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your advice.
Pleasure, Karen.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Angela, I'm trying to unmute you so that you could give the question. So, Angela, just increase the volume so that you could hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Angela, we can hear you loud and clear. Far ahead.
Great. Thank you. No, I just wanted to compliment you.
Just go closer to the mic. We can't hear you still. It just went away again.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to compliment you really on providing this webinar. I think it's fantastic for healthcare professionals to speak in this kind of language because it's not always spoken about in the health service currently. So I think it's fantastic, and the more help and the more content of this type that's shared with healthcare professionals will benefit them personally and professionally, actually, in their everyday work. So I think it's fantastic. I used to work in the health service for years. I don't anymore. But I left it really because the environment was so difficult to work in. So I think this type of information is fantastic.
Thanks so much, Angela, and we need you back. We are deprived of good healthcare professional, and if there's a way to get you back, we'll be delighted to get you back because it's very challenging environment. A lot of your colleagues are going on and in and out because of the whatever happening currently. So we need you back if possible, even at a small amount of time per week. But it's great to have you, and it's great to have you around. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Teresa, far ahead.
Hello. How are you? Thank you for the talk. Just wanted to know, so a question, what is the best way to deal with negative people?
You know my view about negative people. You need to dump them out of your life. stay away from them. They will suck your energy. The problem, you think that you can change them. Negative people are always negative. They'll try to pull you down. They'll try to give you problems in order to eat your time. You're positive, you go forward, stay away from them. Because whatever you do, they want to hurt themselves and hurt the people around them. Except if you care about them tremendously, that's a completely different story. But if just at work, stay out of them, because they will try to eat in your time, into your mind, into your mental health. They will stress you. They will create situation out of nothing. The best thing is always avoid them. However, if you have to live with them, you have to have counseling, because negative people are the first degree of depression.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure, Teresa. Omnea, you're on. Far ahead.
Hi, thank you so much for this amazing talk, and it was really motivating. And I really liked the analogy or the metaphor between the fight and every situation that we are involved in right now. It is not a question, but it's kind of an open question. Like you talked about artificial intelligence versus emotional intelligence, and we are now tied up with with our devices, with our virtual reality, taking meetings online, and started to detach from the social life. So I would like to know what's your recommendations about how to get connected again, especially that some of my colleagues, and maybe at the beginning myself as well, started developing symptoms of social anxiety. So what's your take on this? What's your thoughts on this?
Excellent, Omnea. So the social anxiety that you are talking about is because of the lack of human interface. So the minute that you haven't seen somebody or some people for some time, you will calculate everything that you want to say. You'll be afraid to say anything because people think that, oh my God, what she's talking about. So it's becoming people losing their self-confidence. At the same time, they are on the smartphone all day, looking at TikTok, at Instagram, at whatever they're looking at now through social media. And this is giving a very high achieved people who are paying a lot of money to reach that goal. So suddenly you have people who's totally isolated versus people who have fully support from a lot of people. And now comes in a way that suddenly we said, what's going on? Are we going in the right direction? Definitely what you need to do, you need to start having this everyday dinner on the table. You have to insist that in your house. We have to get the functional family unit working again. Unfortunately, this is the reason that the fabric of the society is failing, because the functional unit have been destroyed. Block the Wi-Fi when you come home for the kids, because they don't talk to you. They'll talk to their friend, or they look at YouTube, or they look at whatever they look on their phone. You need to have the family unit working again. And in order for this family unit to work again, you have to get them together. There must be time for this family unit to be together. You have to start talking together. Whether this is a brother, a sister, a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it is, the family unit have to be resurrected. Currently, with all what's happening around us, this family unit is being totally destroyed. We must have a movement. Get our family back on track. Let's stop the nonsense that's happening around us. Because within 5 years, you're going to have somebody doing everything for you at house, whether it will be a robot or you're going to get somebody to do that, and you're going to lose all control with your family. So the first situation is the family unit have to be resurrected again. And then from there, we'll be able to correct a lot of things. Until we correct this, and unfortunately, a lot of dads and mom aren't focused. They are delighted that they go out and leaving the kids with the au pair. They are not looking at the right direction. We need to be vigilant, because the future society is suffering, and suffering a lot. And within the next 20 years, the society will be so weak that it will be unrepairable. Is that all right, Omnea? Armo, far ahead.
Thank you very much, Professor Sultan. It's been a great talk. I really enjoyed it. You've definitely been a mentor to me for a long time, and you are definitely a good example of everything that you have spoken about, today. And of course, I think everybody has known you like you're go, on the go all the time. My question is simple. Is there a place, even just to take it easy? Is there a place to put a break? Because if it is go all the time, do you think maybe that could be a recipe for burnout also? Is there a place, basically what I'm saying, is there a place to take a break?
Very good, Arno. Thanks so much for your question. And definitely there is always time to take a break. And that's why you retire at the age of 67. And it's very important to understand that you have to have time management. And this time management allows you to take time over the weekends. But when you work, you have to work hard. When you entertain yourself, you have to entertain yourself well. And this is the balanced life. Working hard and enjoying good life. Otherwise, you will never be able to achieve. However, if you want to rest...
Thank you.
Grace.
Hi, Sharif. Thank you. Your talk was very enjoyable. This is a question for you. If you were given the chance to relive your life, would you do anything different?
That's a very good question. Definitely, I'm going to make few fine adjustment, but I'm so happy about what I achieved. I had a lot of challenges that you're well aware in my life that I have overcome. And I'll tell you one thing, the difference between success and failure is persistence. However, since I was in medical school, I needed to do vascular surgery. And everybody thought there's nothing called vascular surgery. I said, I'm going to make it happen. And I did, and everybody knows that. So I know what I needed to do very early in my life. And that's why I have achieved what I have done and plan to do. However, changing things, it will not be as planned as you could think, but definitely fine-tuning some of the stuff, including some other lovely negative people that you need to get them out of your life, is very important.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure, Grace. Any more questions? Because it's going, yeah, here we are. Yasser, fire ahead.
Professor, this was an excellent talk. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for this. So, as a question, I suppose, to yourself as a successful surgeon. So, I think this might be a repeat of a question that one of the attendees had asked. But how do you pace yourself? How do you know when to keep going? When do you know how to slow down? And how do you know that, yes, I need to be more motivated, I need to be more successful? So how do you pace things?
That's an excellent question, Yasser. First of all, you have to measure your success and failure in your own mind. What I am trying to do is to reach a certain goal. There's different way to skin a cat. You could stay at it, but if you are malleable, if you'll be able to go around the problem rather than facing it head on, you might be successful. If you are very stiff, you could end in problems. The whole idea of success and failure is to try to persist, but persist in the right direction. Moreover, remember one thing, you learn as you go. All the failures are steps for success. Every time you get a lesson from somebody, it's a way forward to understand through social intelligence what's right, what's wrong. There's nothing right and there's nothing wrong. It's all about choices in life. And remember again what we said before. 99% of the bad stuff that's going in your mind will never happen, but people get paranoia. Moreover, 90% of what happened to you is a reaction to the 10% decision you have taken. So you have to be very careful with decision making. You have to have statesman approach to any problem. You'll find a lot of people barking at you. You'll find a lot of people trying to stab you in the back. Never look at them. Statement approach. Look at them and keep going. This will kill them. And as you're well aware that a massive success is the best revenge to any of these guys. And keep going, never to stop ever in your life. Any more questions by anybody? I'll be delighted to answer. I wish to thank everybody for the opportunity, including the Galway Clinic and Rachel Coyne for arranging of such lovely webinar, and hopefully we'll meet again. It has been recorded. It will be put on the website of the Galway Clinic for people who would like to see it again if they wishes. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and hopefully the best of the best for all of you. Take care and good night.